Where are we going?
This is our first trip in quite some time since the Arnold, I think.
Man, I can't even remember last time I went somewhere with you.
The Arnold. I think the last time we filmed.
Yeah.
This is our vlog on. We're traveling to the Ironworks Gym, Tracy, California, we're flying to Oakland. Actually, we're going to fly back from Sacramento, but we are deep into August, the end of August now. We're going to do a meet and greet. So we have an event today. We land at, I think, almost noon.
Right.
We have to drive an hour. So
shit.
Yeah. It's an hour away. And we get to the event, do a meet and greet for the private members, and then it's open to the public for a few hours, and then we fly back this evening, back from Sacramento. So a little quick to trip to Northern California.
And who's the host?
Big Dave Nunez. He's the original really hype man for the full-time bodybuilder.
He loves it.
Their shirts, bro.
Yes, I know.
But he's been advertising Dave behind the camera coming up because he's been dying to meet him, because I told him about Dave and how full-time Dave was about the scales and everything else. You didn't bring your scale, did you?
I didn't.
Okay. He's going to ask for it, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he was so excited about this full-time bodybuilder because I called him the full-time bodybuilder that he's kind of run with it now, and he's been promoting the hell out of the event. So
yeah, you're putting it on his package, on his label. He sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, so he carries Cutler Nutrition products, and he has a small semi-private gym there. I mean, he's got exclusive members there, and I think he's still a public gym, but he has a very small niche of people. He's a personal trainer. He's been involved with bodybuilding for years. Huge supporter. So he asked us to come, and he specifically asked for Dave to come. So he's going to make a big deal out of Dave coming up there and the full-time bodybuilding crew. So
well, we're excited to go see him, and I'm sure.
Yeah, this is our final event actually until Mark Anthony's High Roller event, which is coming
2 weeks, I think.
September 10th.
Yeah.
And so I'm not traveling again until that event.
So we're going then. Great.
I'll be at the High Roller
Awesome.
event. Yeah, I have actually told him I would be part of it, come there and support it.
All right.
And we're well on the way. So you guys will keep you kind of behind the scenes on, getting on the plane, flying up there. You'll be able to see a little scenery, get maybe a couple interviews, and see a little bit of the action. We'll talk about the experience on the way back, and this is a day trip. So we're going to fly out at almost 11, right? Is it?
Yeah. I think I'm in 30. Yeah.
We leave at 10:20.
Okay, yeah.
It's 8:30 in the morning now, so we're going to get there a little early. And then we fly back at 7:55. We fly back to Vegas, so I think we get back about 9 o'clock.
Nice.
So stay tuned, guys.
All right, we made it. In Oakland, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Hey, how are you?
How are you, brother?
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Thanks for picking us up.
Absolutely.
I'm Giselle.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Heard a lot about you.
Jeez.
See? They knew the full-time was
Oh, God.
It's all for you.
Pick you guys up in style.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Way to do it, Jay. Yeah.
Hey, boys.
How you doing?
What's up, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
How we doing, all right?
We're here.
What's up, guys?
Get them all set
Good,
up.
what's going on? What's up, boys?
Started.
Hey. You, Jack? Getting the food in, huh?
Oh yeah, always open.
You guys keep getting on killing it or what? I see that. Full-time bodybuilder.
Hey, nice shirt. Oh my God. How are you, Dave? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
You're the OG. I don't even know how
I like the shirt you're wearing. Yeah, I still have that shirt.
I saw you doing a shoot with this on a long time ago. I don't know where you were.
Yeah.
It's comfy.
I know, it's very nice.
Okay, all right, so we're here at Ironworks. We're gonna start just kind of like a little more intimate members, kind of 30 minutes. So we're gonna talk a little bit, so you know, listen along and see, maybe you'll learn something.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming. It's been way too long. The Jay's been out here with COVID, everything that happened. We were just hitting and missing, and then finally I said, you know what, Jay? Whenever you can make it, man, just let me know. So all of a sudden, he calls me, picks up the phone, picked me up at the airport on this date at this time. I said, okay. So then, you know, we're off and running. Obviously, Jay needs no introduction. Real quick, I'm gonna sidestep. Who does not know about the FTVB? No, I mean, real serious. You're not familiar with the full-time bodybuilder. That's okay.
I've heard of that.
Are you guys all familiar with the whole deal? This is the OG. And I heard that he loves attention. So Dave Nunez, him and I have communicated over the past 3 years on and off, and we've never met. And we just hit it off. So I had to have him out here today. I just had to. Because Jay's old news, I want to get someone who's fresh. You know what I mean? So anyway, Dave Nunez, thank you for coming. And it's a pleasure meeting you. I know we'll have a chance to talk later.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah. Okay, so one more thing real quick is I had the opportunity to go to Mandalay Bay, to Orleans, to watch Jay and Ronnie battle it out. The first time I was at Mandalay Bay, I think was 01.
That was my, yeah.
That was your
That was the first one. That was 99 was, yeah.
In 02 you weren't there, right?
No, I wasn't there,
Okay.
yeah.
So I was there, so it wasn't 01. I was there 03, 04, 05, I don't know, about 4 or 5 times. And every single time, I mean, who doesn't love Ronnie Coleman, right? I mean, how do you not love him? How do you not love what he done, what he did, what he brought to the sport? The thickness, you know, every time, you know, there was a Mr. Olympia, you know, Jay's back there or whatever, and here comes Ron, he takes off his shit. And Jay's, of course, bigger because he's freaking chasing him for what, 6 years? You were chasing Ronnie for 6 years.
6 times I was second, yeah.
So Jay is the official, unofficial 6-time second runner-up in a row of the Mr. Olympia.
I hold the record. I hold the record.
And it won't be broke. That whole thing won't be broke. So anyways, I want to get to it to let Jay get here and you guys ask questions. But to me, because I was there and I know this guy was chasing him. And it was just insane. And Jay, back then, I don't know if you guys ever had an opportunity to see him in person while he was competing. First time I saw you, Jay, you looked like a cartoon character, dude. It was in the expo. It was just unbelievable. You know what I mean? So as much as I love Ronnie, I was shooting for Jay. And there was a couple times, dude, you honest to God should have had it. But anyways, this is my homage. I don't know if that's the right word. My special gift to you.
Pretty good. Pretty awesome. Pretty cool. How are we gonna sign it though?
He's always.
How are we gonna sign it?
We'll handle that later.
But that's awesome.
Like it, bud?
Yeah,
I had to do something.
Ronnie would appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, you know, to now, like he was kind of bringing back memories. You know, we did it all in bodybuilding, and we have pictures all over the world in gyms, like every day on social media. We're honored by pictures, murals, everything. But, you know, I came here before, and like he said, he was trying to get me back, and I said, I gotta wait for everything to be closed on this whole COVID situation. So I appreciate everyone's patience. I know you guys have been really dedicated. Congratulations, because when I was here last time, it was fairly kind of the opening, right? And just to revert back, so Dave was my hype guy before there was social media, when there was just magazines. He was the guy on the internet when they had message boards, and he was saying, Jay's gonna win this year. And now, of course, he is the guy behind the camera for JTV. When we had dinner the last time, he told me a little bit about his background. We had just met for the first time. We had obviously communicated, but he told me how dedicated he was. And I said, well, you're a full-time bodybuilder. He's a full-time bodybuilder. And I kind of had a battle on deciding who was the more hardcore full-timer, but you have taken the title. You're always going to have that title, because he carries a scale everywhere he goes to weigh his food. Even when we're at fancy restaurants in Las Vegas, he pulls out the scale and tells them the meat is not heavy enough here. So,
True story.
Yeah, it was at SW in the Wynn Hotel, one of the most exotic restaurants in Vegas. I was so mad. I was so mad because it was a $100 steak, and you told the guy it wasn't 8 ounces. So once again, guys, it's fortunate that I'm actually here. Like we said, we've been planning this for a minute, and I want to talk a little bit with you guys and be able to answer some questions, because I'm sure there's some familiar. Who was here last time? Who came last time? So very few people. So when I came out last time, we had a little less time, and today he wanted to do something more intimate for the people that obviously are close to this gym. So we wanted to open up for some Q&As a little bit, maybe talk about training. You know, I'll give a little bit of insight on what my life was like as I was battling those years and trying to win the title, eventually won. Now living on the other side, being retired now 9 years. And the ride up here, we were just talking about between him and I, it seems like just yesterday I was like battling for the title. I won my first title at 33. I just turned 49, which is crazy, because you never imagine, us old guys know, right? You never imagine getting close to 50. So I started the journey at 18. I see some youngsters here. Never imagined I'd be this. I just wanted to be bigger. I started when I was in college. Actually joined the gym on my 18th birthday, but I just wanted to get bigger. And I saw progress in the gym. People ask today what motivated me to keep going, to find the world of bodybuilding, the progress. I mean, when you go in the gym, you see the arms get bigger, the bench goes up, the squat got bigger. I was a huge squatter, squatted 700 at 19. In high school, I was an athlete. Played football, I did track and field, I did discus, shot put. I was always a great athlete, and I graduated high school at 200 lean pounds. So for me at 5'9", it's actually a really big starting point for most people. I was the biggest kid in high school, really 1,600 kids. And when I joined the gym, I put on 50 pounds my first year of training, just not even knowing really anything, learning from the books. About 6 months into training, I linked up with a guy named Chris Aceto. Anyone know who Chris Aceto is? Very popular in the fitness arena. He was my coach. He lived in Maine. It was 2 hours from where I grew up in Massachusetts. He wrote a diet for me, 6 meals a day, okay? Put it on my refrigerator. I ate those 6 meals in a row, no changing pattern, anything. It was egg whites, oatmeal for 1, 2 was chicken and rice, meal 3 was steak and potato. I ate those same meals every day. And he wasn't sure my progress. At that point, I was just a big kid at 18 and a half. He came back 6 months later, saw how my transformation. He said, this kid's gonna be Mr. Olympia someday. Because it was just apparent that I had the goods to do it. But more importantly, I had the dedication. I learned that dedication growing up. We were farmers growing up in Massachusetts. My brother still has 60 cattle there, pigs. We had horses, we had goats, we had chickens, everything. 150-acre farm. Before school, after school, school vacations, anytime I was working on the farm that I wasn't going to school or working in my brother's concrete business, which I started at 11 years old. Hence, at 18, I had, a great physique, graduating high school. And bodybuilding became what I wanted to do because I was in college. Wasn't sure at a crossroad at 18, wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew one thing, I didn't want to take over the family business. So in a rebellious way, I think I went to college which I think a lot of kids maybe aren't sure what they really want to do. I chose the profession of criminal law. Thought, okay, maybe I'll work in corrections, police officer, maybe law school, whatever. And I finished my degree in 2 years. I went to got my associate's degree. And during that time, I joined the gym, like I mentioned, on my 18th birthday, which was August 3rd, 1991. And I started training and I watched the progress, and I would train from 8 to 10 at night. I fell in love with that time because I got lost in a place where I had no stress. I didn't think about the things coming in life. And that was my place where I found peace. And that's what weight training to today does for me. Okay, when I'm frustrated, when I'm stressed out, I still find the weights, and other people maybe go in a bad direction to buffer, the stresses or whatever's going on in their lives. I pound the weights and I, take my frustrations out on that. It puts me in peace. And that's what bodybuilding kind of did for me. So I knew that I felt good doing it. Never thought I could make money. My dad was like, how can you, spend so much time doing this? We want you to work. And I said, you know what? I want to focus on school and I want to weight train. And eventually I had some voices start calling me from different areas once they saw the progression. And next thing I knew, I was getting sponsorship offers. Won the Teenage Nationals at 19, best teenager in the country, against a guy named Branch Warren. He actually beat me overall, if you guys are familiar with him. And then, chased the pro card 2 years later, my first attempt, and won it on my first time out, 23 years old. In the pro ranks, got my first Olympia at 25. That guy was winning. I finished second to last in my first Olympia. So you guys know the history, right? I finished 8th the second time, then I moved up to second. I was second 4 times to him, won the title twice, lost to Dexter Jackson, came back to win it. First time ever someone's ever lost a title, come back to win it, okay? No one's ever lost the Olympia stage to a guy, especially a runner-up. I was able to beat Ronnie Coleman. He was going for record 9. Respect to him, because that's what made me great, was the battles we had. Like, he was my idol, and eventually I had to stand next to him and say, I want to beat this guy. And I was able to do that, lock my place in history, being, the 11th Mr. Olympia in history. Still to this day, I think we only have 16 winners maybe, or obviously Arnold being the most famous one, 7 times. I wanted 5, tore the bicep in the last year, lost to Phil Heath. He won 7 in a row, and now we have Big Ramy, who's going for his 3rd title this year. I still follow it pretty close. I see a lot of the guys coming up. I think this year's Olympia may be one of the more competitive ones. I know now we have classic physique, so like someone like Chris Bumstead kind of leads the whole bodybuilding arena as far as notoriety. Social media's taken over. I'm still pretty active putting out content, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. Every day I'm doing pretty much content, even at my age, which is very difficult to film my food or film my workouts because, like I mentioned, I have no body goals at this point, although for my 50th, I'm gonna be in my best shape I've been in 10 years. So I'm starting like a transformation. I'm starting to talk about that online. I wanna be lean and cut. Not that I'm not now to a certain point, but I wanna be a lot better. And I never realized the encouragement that I put out about being selfish, like trying to build a better body, spills off on the people that follow me, okay? And we just wanted to be great. I just wanted to be...
It was a couple times, dude. You honestly...
Then I wanted to have some popularity in the magazines. Then I wanted to get enough money so I could afford the nutrition, because it is expensive to eat the way that we do. I was eating 6 meals a day. At my peak, I was eating, 4 pounds of meat a day. I'd eat 4 pounds of fish a day on some of the diets. I'd eat 140 eggs a day sometimes when I was on a program. Okay, the food, I don't even know the food bills. I mean, with eating out and everything, I was spending for sure, $100,000 a year just on food. And that, remember, I travel a lot. I'm eating out at restaurants and this and that. But everyone knows the only way to get size is to eat more, right? You hear us say it over and over. So nutrition is the key to everything. And I mentioned that. I want to go back to the start of the story was, I made great progress in the beginning, but when I met Chris Aceto and he put that 6 meal a day diet together, and anyone in this room, doesn't matter age, I'm suggestive in any kind of routine, you have to eat something every 3 hours to make constant progress, and that's to keep metabolism. So even if you're trying to lean down, you still should be eating something every 3 hours. You try to space your meals out too much and crunch too much food into one sitting and you're eating 3 times a day, it becomes difficult for your body to get, it's like a furnace. It's like when you feed coal into a fire, right? That's what your body does. So as you jab at it with food and calories and obviously good food, That's what's gonna create your body heat to keep burning, and you're gonna either gain size, strip off body fat. Ideally, we like to get leaner and bigger at the same time. And this includes the ladies because you still wanna carry some muscle mass. More muscle will burn more calories, so you wanna have some tone to your physique. Now, at the level that I went at, you had to eat a lot of food because I started, at 200 pounds, obviously at this level. I was 270 the first time I beat Ronnie Coleman at 5'9". Today, looking at me, I'm anywhere between 240 and 245, okay? I have zero effort, and I would be lying to you if I told you I eat 6 meals a day. I eat about 4 meals a day. I'm just busy. I just don't have the appetite for it. I don't have the motivation that many of you have in the room to have a better physique. I'm sure there's much more people in this room that are more dedicated than I am at this moment. This man right here. I'm talking to you. Dave's only eating 4 meals a day right now. That's his. What's the biggest challenge we have? Would you say it's food? Would a lot of people say it's your nutrition? I mean, training's easy, right? Like, we like to train, whether it's cardio training, whether it's swimming, whether it's weights. My day consists right now, I get up, I do cardio every day. You can watch me on Instagram. I post every day. I get up, do my fasted cardio, empty stomach. I think it's the best way. Some people would argue it. Eat a couple meals, go to the gym, train, or I train later in the day, so I might eat 2 or, like I said, I only eat 4 meals usually, so I eat about 2 meals and I train later. And then I have another meal, whatever. So I'm in the gym twice a day. Luckily, my first session's in my garage where I have every cardio piece there is. Still train at public gyms. Why don't I have my own gym? I still like getting out there and being around people. Is it motivating for me? Yes. Hence why you guys train at your gym.
Ironworks Gym.
Of course, because it's motivating, right?
That's them. I think it is.
I mean, hand-picked, right? You've hand-picked a lot of equipment here. You like the atmosphere. It's like a family, right? So I've trained at the best gyms in the world. I've traveled to Kuwait. I've traveled to New York to Bev Francis Powers. I've shot 1 million videos in Gold's Gym Venice. I moved to Las Vegas for tax reasons from California. I was a real estate investor. I took a lot of my finance that I've made from bodybuilding and invested at a great time in Las Vegas. But I also went there for the 24-hour gyms. And many of you that watch my old videos will see me at 2 o'clock in the morning training in the middle of the night. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to play mind games with all my competitors. Because no one was doing that. No one got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and trained. And I would train round the clock. You can ask Dave, because he was there. He thought I was crazy. But I did it because I was in the gym 4 times a day at that point. I love to train, and still to this day, I love to train. Like, if you said, Jay, what is the most exciting part of your life? It's going to the gym every day. We go on vacation, I have a fiance, and all I want to do is work out. Can we go do this or that? I said, yes, if I work out first. You're not the only full-time bodybuilder.
I know. I know.
Man, bodybuilding has given me more than I could ever imagine. I traveled the world. I got paid to do it. I met everyone in every culture. And I've gotten an audience and a platform for a guy that was I was an introvert. Like, didn't like attention. I didn't like to stand in front of crowds and speak to people. I was shaking every time I got on stage to compete the first time. How many people want to compete here but have not? Are you scared? Are you thinking, I'm not ready yet? I encourage you, pick a show. Give yourself 12 to 16 weeks of nutritional diet, tone down even if you're lean. Learn the poses, stand in front of people and practice those poses, get on stage. Because if I wasn't offered the free gym membership at 19 to compete in a show, I may not have gotten on stage because of my fear. But that $300 a year membership was offered to me, said, if you compete in this local show, we'll give you a free membership. And at the time I was broke and hungry. I was in college and I wasn't working for the family business anymore. Like I said, I was rebellious in that sense, and I tried to take every avenue I can to save $1, and I wanted that gym membership. So I competed and I fell in love with the stage. But I was still scared, I was still scared. Even when I got my pro card, I was scared. I would guest pose, I was paid thousands of dollars to guest pose, and I still was nervous. Man, what if I hit this pose wrong? Or what if I don't look as good as I should? And back then it was magazines, so it wasn't even video that you see now online. I mean, that's the thing with social media. Now we're spoiled with like minute-to-minute content, right? So you can see whatever, anyone you follow, but follow those people that are influential positively to you. So I always say follow those people that put out the content, whether it's training, nutrition, you know, motivation, like as far as whatever your goals may be, and your goals may not to be stand on a stage, you just want to look better. Some of us are beating father time right now, and like I said, I wake up now and I say, man, where did my career go so quick? But I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative that I'm here today. I'm here with all you guys, and I do this every week. I was in Nebraska last week on a 12 to 3 scheduled event. It got over at 7:30. People drove 6 hours to come see me, 4 hours. And I wonder why. Like, I wouldn't wait 5 minutes for anyone. Just honest. But I appreciate you more than you know, because I'm just a guy, just like many of you that maybe, I just loved it. I just found something I love to do, and I became great at it. I had a platform, and now, you know, I'm kind of married to that platform. It's a little frustrating at times because I wish sometimes I could just shut the social media down and crawl into a hole and kind of disappear and just not take pictures of me cooking my chicken and asking Dave to come shoot me for a video, or sometimes you just want the peace, right? So yes, we do get a little burned out on it, but you just got to kind of pace yourself. And this is my last appearance now until the 10th of September. And I'm taking a breath of fresh air. Like, okay, now I don't have to travel, because getting on a plane's the worst. I mean, this is easy. This was an hour flight, but like the connections, and today the delays, and since the whole situation we had the last couple years, and it changed a lot of people's lives, and it did change mine. And I actually thought, man, I'm just gonna work from social media. I'm gonna stop traveling. Expos are finished, like no one's coming out and people are scared. But that lasted until the first event. I was able to have FaceTime with my fans and supporters, and I said, you know what? I'm never gonna stop doing this. Like, I'm here until the end of time doing the meet and greets and trying to give people the motivation, because you never realize that just the handshake or just the few minutes of conversation, how much it can mean to people, right? It's life-changing, because I know when I was 18, 19, I got to see a couple of the pros that came locally to Massachusetts where I was, and I was so scared. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, what am I gonna say to this guy? Am I gonna sound stupid? And you know, they weren't as inviting, let's put it that way. And I said, if I ever become someone of that caliber, I hope that I can be inviting for people. So, you know, we're gonna be able to take pictures. We have this beautiful board that he made here for us, which we didn't have last time, right? You know, if you guys have anything for me to sign, I'd love to sign it for you, or, you know, I'd love to take the pictures, you know, but, you know, whatever you guys want to ask for questions, I'm open for that. It can be about anything, really. And I would love to hear a couple. Sometimes it's always awkward to get asked the first question, right? So I was hard-headed, and I was determined I loved it. I was still second in the world. Like, being second's not so bad, even though people say, oh, you're the first loser, right? Still getting paid, I was still popular. Sometimes the underdog, that's kind of what gave me a lot of popularity, because I was second best to the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Ronnie Coleman will go down in history as, I believe, and I believe many people in this room will realize, he was probably the best body that ever hit the Olympia stage. I mean, that's arguable. People say Arnold or what, but listen, as we expanded, but if Ronnie Coleman competed at his best today in this year's Mr. Olympia, he would still win. And there's some people that say, well, Jay, you could do that too. I'm not so sure, but that guy could win it today. So I have so much respect for him, but that's what gave me the motivation, because you know what, I said, you know what, that guy's the best guy, but if I can be second best to that, eventually he's gonna get old. And that's what happened. I won at 33, he was 43 when he lost to me. He's 10 years older than I am, so.
So Dave, talk to me a little bit about your second appearance with Jay. You had him over when you first opened about 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been way too long. Jay was out here 3 months after we first opened, probably about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we just clicked. We just really clicked. And of course, we gave each other, I don't know if I can say shit over
You can
on
shit.
this, but about the full-time bodybuilder thing and this and that. And we went out to dinner and we just had a great time. And, you know, I found out that he thinks, you know, chocolate's an aphrodisiac and stuff like that, which it isn't. But other than that,
So, so needless to say, you eat more chocolate now, right?
yeah, we've been trying to get him back out here for a long time, and he's been wanting to come out here for a long time. He's a part of this gym. He really, really is. People, they relate Ironworks Gym to Jay and vice versa, which is an honor for me. And you, Dave, full-time bodybuilder behind the cameraman. Finally, it's a pleasure, meeting you for sure.
I'm glad I could come.
And I'm looking at the microphone. So I be looking somewhere
It's okay.
else?
No, you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
It was a great turnout, and I love seeing Jay. And I don't know what to say. It's a 10 out of 10.
Well, you had a good thing going. People were great. They were patient.
The sign too.
I did. I know. I can't believe I actually posted on Instagram.
Is that the first time you've ever had a poster?
Yes, I never had a poster. Gold's Venice.
Is that your shirt? Right
But this is like for me, yeah. Yeah, that's the one you gave me. Remember? Yeah. The full time. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to do that.
Dave, I've been wanting to meet you for 3.5 years. 3 years, man.
But we're gonna come back, right? So we had a lot of
Too bad we're not going to dinner, huh? Not enough time.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of people. We just want to make sure people could see him. So it's okay.
That's what's most important.
Yeah, we'll be back. Yeah.
Everybody had nothing but great things to say, of course.
That's great.
Jay does what he does best, and he
So
just...
talk a little bit about the passion behind Ironworks, like why you came up with the concept.
Oh, God, how much time do we have? I started bodybuilding in 1985. I've been wanting to ask you this. Do you know Scott Wilson?
Of course I do, yeah.
Okay, well, he was half owner of the Gold's Gym that I went to downtown San Jose with Jerry McCall back in 1985. After 2 weeks of me training there, literally, Scotty, I call him Scotty, he comes up to me and he goes, Dave, he goes, dude, you got what it takes. And I go, okay, so what do you mean? I changed pretty quickly. And he goes, how would you like me to train with you? Or vice versa. And I go, and I seen Scotty train. And when he trains legs, he always brought a bucket, and that was no BS. And the gym back then was old school. We had duct tape on the rug, holding it together. We had dumbbells with rust that would come in your, it was awesome. It was just the best. So that's instilled in me. That's how I learned how to be a bodybuilder. And everybody there, men and women, because there was only bodybuilding back then. There was nothing else. So I'm just tunnel vision. So this is my 4th gym, and this one I wanted to be really true to myself. Wasn't about the money, how much money can I make? I wanted a gym, no cell phones on the floor. I want people who want to train. It's that simple, and that's what Ironworks is about. And then we ended up with the top of the line equipment, Atlantis.
Yeah. Right.
They heard about us, and we kind of hooked up. And then I got a couple pieces of Arsenal Strength because of the Dragon's Lair. I saw your video, Dave, when you were panning it before it was even open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck kind of equipment is that? So long story short, I'm getting a couple pieces of the Arsenal Strength.
Nice.
But Susie and I have built a family. Everybody's handpicked. I send a lot of people packing because they're not a good fit for the gym. It's how I am. Ain't about
love
the money,
it.
Dave.
What is the address and the contact info?
It is 4220 Commercial Drive here in Tracy, California, 95304. And I like to give out my personal cell phone because that's what we do over here. It's
Okay.
209-815-1472.
And the Instagram.
Instagram is at Ironworks Gym Tracy.
Awesome. We'll put all that in there. Dave, thanks so much for having us today. It was great.
You guys are awesome. It's been way too long before you and I met, that for sure. It's about time you finally got your butt over here. And thank you too.
All right, thanks so much.
These days I'm weighing it different. When I pray, I'm praying he listens. You paying attention, I make a distinction. Don't just say it, but actually live it. Man, I got a cousin who's staying in the trenches. And it's weighing on me. All this drama is staying on me.
Little bus. Little bus.
Yeah, so this is our journey home, dude. I thought it was a good event, though.
It was great.
I mean, how long did the line go for?
Dude, it was pretty
3
long.
hours.
Yeah, you stayed longer.
What time did I get till 4 and did it at 5, didn't it?
You're supposed to be there till 3, 4, and you're like at 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, a lot of people go quite a distance, right?
100 miles, some people. That's like LA to San Diego.
Sometimes I wonder how people hear about I ask everyone how do you hear about the event. Social media is so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the fans so much.
Yeah, good group today.
Seeing my why, I think I should try again. But the pressure to shooting and firing, all the pressure I'm facing is tiring. The pressure to make it, I'm sounding complacent, but never evasive or violent. If you knew what I'm facing is silence, but I own it. Each morning I wake up with focus, could be carried away in a moment. So I carry the weight on my shoulders.
All right, almost back home.
Coming down right now. We can see the view of the strip. I don't know if you can see it from here.
Yeah, it's nice.
See the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Camera can capture.
It was a good day.
Yes, so it is 9:47. We left the house at
8:20.
8:20.
Yeah.
So we left almost over 12 hours ago.
Yeah,
We're almost
13
back
hours.
home. So another successful weekend. Like I said, I'm off now for
Couple weeks.
We have Mark Anthony's High Roller. September, I think, 17th, I'm in Boise for the Ripped Nutrition event, which is another free meet and greet at the store there, a brand new store. And then I'll be flying over to the UK to see how Andrew Jack's going to perform against James.
First time you'll meet him in person.
And again, redemption for Mark.
Yeah.
And then September, I mean, we roll into October, man. October 8th, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. October 15th, I'm in Wisconsin for an event. And then 22nd, I don't know if I'll be in Dubai or not, but then I have the 29th, the Jay Cutler New England Bodybuilding Championships.
Oh, wow.
I didn't tell you, I rented a house in Boston, downtown.
Really?
For a week for Halloween.
You
We're
really?
gonna celebrate this year, yeah. So we land out there just a couple of days before my event, and we're staying until like next Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna do all the Halloween effect stuff.
Awesome. That'll be fun.
So Boston people, I'm coming out. I'll be training out at the gym hub out there, Nate's gym, and looking forward to the end of the season, man.
Awesome.
And then we'll be at the Olympia. December.
I know, it's going to come fast.
So guys, thank you so much for following along. We appreciate you. Like I said, make sure you guys comment, like, and we appreciate all the support on JTV. And we'll see you at the next vlog. This is a day in the life of a travel day, so we wanted to get this on video. Thank you, Dave, for coming out.
Yep.
You got some good honorary
It was a good day.
respect this weekend.
It was a good day for me.
A lot of people are happy to see you, and stay tuned. I'll be at the next event coming up, so
All right.
keep watching JTV. We're out, guys. Peace.
No mercy for you, no worries for you. That Game of Thrones, go Cersei on you. I flip the script, I roll the dice. Don't fall asleep, cause I'm working nights. Hey, you tryna shut me